The figure itself is very nice. It is a wonderful recreation of Bandai's previous works, which I actually own a copy. The Rick Hunter's Veritech Fighter is based off the original Bandai Veritech Fighter line, or Valkyrie line if you want to go that far, line of giant Veritechs. Now these things are pretty big. I mean, this is a 3 3/4 inch action figure compared to them, so they're pretty good sized. I'd say if these were more human characters, I'd say these have to be really close to 1/12 in scale, especially compared to my Sideshow R2-D2, which is buried amongst my other figurines. So as you can see, it's pretty comparable in size, with R2 still being just a little bigger. So pretty big, honestly. And yes, I did eventually get and you might be asking, why is there a Transformers logo on this Robotech Roy Folker Veritech? Well, to make a really long story short, Hasbro's Transformers cartoon and toy line was honestly based off of just a random set of multiple random sets of Japanese robots that went from ordinary objects to mechs. Some of them were based off vehicles, some of them were based off inanimate objects like guns, boomboxes, stereos, and one of the many different transforming toys was the Roy Folker Veritech, and that is why it has the Transformers logo. Now, if you're asking why it's missing an arm, God only knows. The eBay person I bought this off of, I didn't realize it was missing an arm until I got to my house, and because I wanted to spite the semi-local action figure store at my house, I decided to keep it, because I wasn't going to spend $200 on a chunk of plastic. To me, that was ridiculous, and it's half the reason I've never gone back and never will go back. That's regardless of the point. To me, my only complaint with this figure right here is lack of articulation. Now, I know that might be a stupid thing to say, but to me, when I have something that at about half the price, and I guess half the size of it, is far better in every shape, way imaginable, and can still transform, has plenty of articulation, and does indeed resemble a Veritech, I can't give this the most perfectest rating on the planet. I mean, one of my many complaints is the head doesn't go full 360, only goes 180. That's due to a light up feature that I don't have the batteries for mine. I mean, it's just microscopic batteries, and just trying to get the batteries out were a pain. I don't even feel like putting them in, and apparently it was just a little light that to me is just so unimportant. I don't even feel like putting it in. My other huge complaint, and I don't know how people, I don't know what the rationality behind this was, because this is supposed to be like the biggest like collector's edition. See, you see the little edge right there? There's effing stickers on this thing. How the hell are you charging me this much for? And don't tell me they couldn't just print all the damn things on there. The leg right here is printed. Explain that. And how on earth did they engineer a hand that is so defective that it can't even hold the frickin' gun it's meant to hold? I mean, it can, but any like slight movement just I will admit, one of my favorite parts of this is all the ratchet joints are very tight, very strong, and I don't have an issue with them, you know? And it's also nice that these legs have individual articulation unlike the original one. Honestly, between it being in Guardian mode or Jet mode, I actually think it looks better in both those modes than it does in its Battlelord mode. I mean, look, it's even got the antenna. That's hard to see, but it's right there. It has the frickin' antenna. That's so cool. And it comes with a Rick Hunter pilot. That to me is an amazing addition, and the canopy itself actually moves. if I can unclip it. It is not easy to remove the camera. See? Where you have a little Rick Hunter inside, which is an amazing addition. I would love to have a Rick Hunter helmet one day. It just looks so cool. I also had one of my many complaints is these little pegs, I guess, right here. They're supposed to be there so you can lock the arms into place, which I think is fine, but once you do that, and I'll demonstrate with this arm right here, it's not only a pain to get it in there, but once you get it in there, it's almost there's a spring attached. Well, even still, it's nigh impossible to get in there, and then it's just oh, what the, you know what, I'm just gonna say, this is frustrating bullshit that shouldn't really be here. One of the things I really do like, and they even mention it in the instruction manual itself, that as you can see there's no real connection, there's no peg, but actually it's magnetic. That is such an awesome feature, and I kind of wish it was on the little version because mine got printed weird and it can't really do that. But honestly, amazing addition. I'm so glad there wasn't a peg because it was probably going to break off with 1 or 2 transformations. So honestly, I think my favorite part of this whole thing is actually when it's in jet mode. It to me looks spectacular. All the details there that really needs to be, and there are a handful of stickers that I put on there just to add some pop to it. I love the fact that it's in such good condition that it's practically crystal white. And you can also have the gun in there, but to me it's a very tight connection because it's the square peg, and I don't feel comfortable with putting it in and taking it out again and again. But I don't want to damage this because it's really cool. And yes, those are both stickers, and they are equally as frustrating. And yes, it's supposed to be like that. One of those supposed to be looking like it's normal, and the other one's supposed to kind of look like it's upside down. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but kind of cool. Anyways, really freaking awesome. The jet mode to me is just fantastic. I mean, I honestly could not ask for a better jet mode, honestly. The landing gear is amazing, the chrome on it, the actual almost rubbery plastic wheels are amazing, and it's just amazing. It's just, jet mode is so awesome. The hands are tracked, it's so cool. Even the head feels size appropriate here, and that's where you put in the battery. So honestly, I think out of anything it gets, well, and there's one of my another issues. The back here doesn't really stick in very well, so once it gets kind of up, it gets problematic to mess with. But besides that, jet mode is freaking awesome. I almost recommend this just for the jet mode, but again, for me, when it comes to something that should transform, it should be good in at least the 2 main modes, the jet and battleoid mode. And I feel like the jet mode is just a little better. I give jet mode 10 out of 10, and battleoid mode, I give it 8 out of 10. Ultimately, even though I have flaws with this, to me, it's just awesome. It's a great figure. It's a great piece of collectible. It's a great collectible. I love Robotech, and ultimately, even though it has its flaws, I highly recommend it to any hardcore Robotech fan.